the real Army over here. I'm going to talk a little bit about, first of all, about the individual soldier. The individual soldier, right down to the private, was the mainstay of the Federal Infantry at that time. When he enlisted, he had to learn all kinds of stuff. One moment he was a farmer, next moment he was in the Army, so he had to learn to march. He had to shoulder his musket. He had to learn squad drill. He had to learn company drill, platoon drill. So there were all kinds of things he had to learn. General Kautz wrote a book in 1864 about the private in the Civil War, and he devoted 38 pages in that book of all this information that the private had to learn. Another rank within the company of the Army was the corporal. This is our corporal here. Now the corporal, he earned $13 a month, same as the private. So that rank, even though he went move up in rank, he didn't get any more money. He wasn't supposed to know as much either, because Kautz, I guess, he only dedicated 15 pages to what he had to know. His most important job was corporal of the guard. So when you had the sentries out, his job was to be in charge of those sentries. We have a sergeant in the rear rank back here. He earned $17 a month. A princely sum back then, $17 for the sergeant. Kautz devoted about 15 pages to him. So you can see the private, he gets 38 pages, whereas the sergeant, he gets about 15 as well. Okay, the regiment. The regiment, at the start of the war, was composed of about 1,000 men. It was further subdivided into companies. 10 companies. Each company is about a little over 100 men. Within that company, we would have 82 privates. We'd have 8 corporals, 5 sergeants, 3 officers, and Kautz doesn't have a lot to say about them, although the privates do say their only job was to eat oysters and drink port. Here at the Battle of Gettysburg, as I said earlier, at the start of the war, the regiment was about 1,000 strong. By 1863, the regiment, the nominal strength had dropped to about 355 men, average, the entire Army of the Potomac. The reason being, there was no replacement system involved. Once somebody was hurt in action, or he was captured, or he went over the hill, there was no replacement to fill in his ranks there. If you look after you're done with our program, you might want to go to the Pennsylvania Monument. All those plaques over there list the Pennsylvania regiments when they were here at the Battle of Gettysburg. And some of those companies only have 7 or 8 people within those companies. So our representation here is fairly accurate about what the size of a company was during 1863. 116th Pennsylvania only had 66 men here for the Battle of Gettysburg. That when they started out in 1861 with 1,000 men.